Welcome back to Talking Ball. We are continuing our tour of college basketball. This one is for you, obviously, Auburn basketball fans and college basketball fans in general. Really appreciating the support on the channel of late. If you can hit that subscribe button, it really means a lot. So, Auburn, we're going to look at the roster. We're going to talk about who left the program, who's back, and who's new. And then in a month or so, I'm going to come back, maybe 2 months, once we have the schedule out for this season and make my predictions and what I think the rotation is going to look like for this Auburn team. So looking back on last year, they spent a lot of time last year. I would say 3/4 of the season, maybe 85% of the season as the number one team in college basketball. Whether that was by ranking or by just, what we knew from watching the games, this team was awesome last year. They finished 32-6. They were the best team in the best conference during the regular season at 15-3 in the SEC. They lost a few games towards the end of the season. They lost three of their last four, but still, they're the number one overall seed in the NCAA tournament. That's how good they had been all year long. And they were led by Johni Broome. Johni Broome was one of the three best players in college basketball. No argument could be had there. He was just fantastic. And he did so while battling injuries, especially as the season went on. 18.5 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, a steal. He was just Mr. Everything for this Auburn team. But it wasn't just him. There's a lot of contributors to this team, whether it's Chad Baker-Mazara, Miles Kelly, Denver Jones, Tahad Pettiford, what you got from Dylan Cardwell as your glue guy, your defensive ace, Chaney Johnson with his ability to score off the bench. It was just a really fun basketball team. And they're obviously led by Coach Bruce Pearl, and they had a really great run. They made it to the Final Four, and then they lost to the eventual national champion, the Florida Gators. And look, no shame in losing to Florida. I think, Broome's injury certainly affected it, but they just didn't play well enough as a collective in that game. So now we start to turn the page and we start looking forward to the 2025-26 season. Please like this video. It really helps with the algorithm. Let me know what you guys think as well in the comments below. How do you see Auburn faring here? So let's look at who's gone from this team, because look, most of this team is gone. Johni Broome, Denver Jones, Miles Kelly, Chaney Johnson, Dylan Cardwell, Chris Moore, Jaheim Hudson, all gone, all out of eligibility. And JP Pegues. It's I can't say his last name. I apologize. But it's funny to me because when we were looking at this team ahead of last season, it was expected he was going to be, if not the starting point guard, the guy who was going to play major minutes, and he ended up completely out of the rotation. Also, Jackie Howard, who I thought gave them he had some promise, I will say, as a forward. I thought for this program, man, I can't speak right now. And then Chad Baker-Mazara transferring out was a big surprise to me, although with his emotional swings, I guess it shouldn't be too much of a surprise. With that being said, let's turn the page and let's start looking at this roster as it shapes out for the 2025-26 season. We're going to go through it in the order they have it on the website, and I love we get to start with the big returner, the only returner who played last season, Tahad Pettiford. This has got to be like that Will Smith meme where he's looking around and he can't find all the furniture's gone. He's just in the house by himself. That's how Pettiford must feel right now, because it's going to be a completely different team. He's going to start, I imagine. I would be surprised, and I would be also, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but I would imagine he'll be the number one option. There's a couple of guys, one guy in particular, I do think is going to compete with him for that, but with him being the returner, I think it will be his spot to lose. Kevin Overton comes over from Texas Tech, where he, had a solid season last year after transferring over from Drake. 8 points, 4 rebounds in 22 minutes. Abdul Bashir, interesting, number one JUCO prospect, and that's going to be a little bit of a theme here. It's a little bit hard for me to give you guys major insights into some of these guys who have not played at the Division I level. But that's Coach Pearl. He likes to build in unorthodox ways, and that's continued with this roster has shapen out. Keyshawn Murphy, though, is more of a traditional transfer from Mississippi State. Skilled forward. Came off the bench, but that was more by choice by that program. He was one of I think he was their second leading scorer. 11.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, stealing a block per game for Murphy listed at 6 foot. What do we have him here? 6'7". Yeah, 6'7", 240. Caden Magwood, freshman, coming over, top 75 recruit. And then you have here Elijah Freeman, 6'8". Where's he coming in from? D2. Again, another guy I can't give you guys a ton of insight on. But what I will say is Coach Pearl's got track record. Chaney Johnson came over from Division II level. So there's a good chance this one works out as well. At least there's a better chance than at other locations. We've got something to build off of, right? We've also got Keyshawn Hall, the guy who I was alluding to, I should say, before, coming over from UCF where he was the leading scorer there. I think this is a guy who's going to be pretty good, even though he's going to he's transferred from the Big 12 to the SEC, so moving up a level, but not too much of a level in terms of competition, especially because I do think the SEC won't be quite as good as last year. Being it was an all-time great year, I think that's reasonable. He averaged 19 points, 8 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and a steal per game, did Hall. Really good player, really good get for Coach Pearl, considering who he lost. And Simon Walker, 6'4" freshman. He is a top 200 recruit, so I don't expect Walker to play, certainly this year. We've got Emeka Oporum, 7-foot JUCO transfer. Again, not much I can say on him. And then Drake Cardwell, the younger brother of Dylan Cardwell, didn't play last year. I'm not sure if he's going to be expected to be part of the rotation. I got a couple of guys here who are walk-ons. And then we have a few more guys here before I'm going to get to a little bit of a surprise. So next three guys, let me just get myself oriented here. We've got Bradley Pearson, who I don't have notes on, but we do have Sebastian Williams Adams, who is coming in as a freshman. And he's a top 75 recruit, 6'8", 230. He could be in line for some playing time for this Auburn program. And Philippe Jovic coming in from Mega MIS. It's a program where a couple of players have come over this summer. He is from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Averaged 12 points and 4 rebounds at Mega MIS. Professional player. I am intrigued by what he could provide for this program. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Actually, no surprise on this one. I mixed that up with something else with another program, so I apologize. But like I said, I'll be back in about a month and a half or so with my official predictions for Auburn. I'm curious. I'm really curious how this team is going to shake out. A lot of changes. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Until next time, peace.